Hello and welcome back to Tottenham Logic TV. I've got myself a new microphone, so in the comments it'd be much appreciated if you can let me know if the audio is a lot better now. I'm hoping so. I just want to talk about today a bit of Tottenham therapy for you. I still think we can have a very, very good season this season. After that dreadful performance against Brighton, a lot of people were rightfully so very disappointed. We just had 5 wins on the bounce. Everything was looking great. And then that dreadful performance in the second half really cost us. It cost us 3 points. It cost us our motivation. It cost us our confidence. There was no effort. There was no desire to win that game. Brighton wanted it more than we did. I don't know where it came from. People are blaming the manager. We can go on all day about how poor the defending was. We can talk about who's not good enough. We can go on all about that, but that's what this video is about. Because in the past, let's face it, we spoke about Brennan Johnson's not good enough. We've spoke about that. Kulu's not good enough. Now the conversation's gone on to Kulu. I mean, Romero's not good enough now. We're talking about we can't beat top 6 sides. We spoke about the high line. These narratives that keep coming out from Spurs fans is quite extraordinary, actually. We've talked about set pieces. That was a problem before as well. All that. So this new thing now where they're saying that Ange has no in-game management. So that's the new one, because now they can't talk about the high line anymore. They can't talk about the set pieces anymore because we've only let in 1 goal through a high line in 7 games. We've only let in 1 goal from a set piece corner from Arsenal, which they do it to everyone, by the way. Brennan Johnson has proved everyone wrong, scoring 6 and 6. Kulu's had some magnificent performances. We've beat a top 6 side in Man U away at Old Trafford, completely battered them. So they put that one to bed. So the new one now is about Ange ain't got no management during games, and Romero's not a good defender all of a sudden. So these things will pass because they always do, because once Ange does a good decision during a game, that'll get squashed, and then they'll think of something else that we're not doing right. Please don't fall into the trap of believing these stupid narratives every time a new one comes out, because the new one comes out, they don't mention it anymore, the old ones, and then they try and convince you that this new one is a new fact of theirs. What happened to taking a defeat on the chin like the good old days? We played poorly for 1 half and we got punished for it, and that is the end of that. We didn't have the right mentality for the second half coming out, whether that was the manager's problem or the players' problem. I'm sure that they'll sort that out. Having to pick apart every single thing about Spurs every time they lose, rather than the other team was just better than them in the second half, is absolutely must be stressful. It must be stressful. We can't forget we've played some fantastic football this season, some brilliant football. I still think we're underachieving in the league at the moment, because we are on, I think we're on 10 points, and we could have easily been on 16 and been in the top 4, and nobody would be moaning as much. Leicester, Newcastle, Everton, Arsenal, Brentford, Man U, and Brighton in the first half. Can you think of any of those games where we were under the cosh and we were defending poorly, or we were not on top and we shouldn't have won those games? Because in my opinion, they were very, very good performances. We just didn't get the points to go with it. There's no reason why these performances can't continue. We just need to get better results to go with it, and that will just lead us into a better season anyway. We have West Ham coming up, which is going to be tough. But if we can win that and win our next Europa League game and then beat Palace away, that's another 3 games in a row won, and everything will start looking rosy again. Then it's the big one against City. If we can beat City in the League Cup and get into the quarterfinals, can you imagine the hype then that we could actually start to try and think about winning a trophy? it would really, there is no reason either why we can't go for the Europa League. The Europa League is very winnable. There's no Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City in that. There's no Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, AC Milan. There's none of that sort of thing in it. Oh, there is an AC Milan, but you know what I'm saying. So just breathe, everybody. Just breathe. If you're expecting to win every single game, then you will be massively disappointed. I'm hating this narrative at the moment as if we beat Brentford, we should be beating Brentford. If we beat Newcastle, we should be beating Newcastle. If we beat Man United, oh, it's just Man United was shit. Please don't believe all this crap because it's just ridiculous. If we beat Brighton, they would have said, well, they didn't even finish in the top 10 last season. So we would have got that as well. Then it would have been, well, we need to beat the Chelseas and Liverpools and Man U's and Man City's and Arsenal's. But if you think about it, that statement there on its own, that statement there, if we beat the teams we should be beating, and then we start beating Arsenal and the Cities and the Liverpools, that means we have to win every single fucking game before these fans will say, oh, I'm Anjin now. We'd have to win every game. The pressure that was put on this Brighton game was insane. We just won 5 in a row, and they said, well, we haven't proved anything unless we beat Brighton. Yes, we lost against Brighton. We battered them in the first half, by the way, and we just capitulated in the second half. But my point is, the pressure was still even 5 wins in a row. And by the way, we had like 6 games in the space of like 17 days or something, and we won 5 of them. That is good, in my opinion. I still think we can finish in the top 4 and still go for a trophy, which would be an amazing season. We've still got 31 games left. Don't forget. Maybe we're not starting off as good, but we'll finish off better this season and do the opposite to what we did last season. We still have January as well. So in the January window, we can still probably sign another couple of players, strengthen up that squad just that little bit more. You know, a few reinforcements maybe at the back, maybe up front. We don't know. We've got Yang coming in January as well. I don't think he'll play many games, but he'll be there as well. I've seen huge improvement in this team this season. Huge. I'm not sure if anybody else agrees with me. We're still, look, there's going to be times in the season where we're going to have losses. There's going to be times where we don't perform. There's going to be times where, you know, we expected to win and we don't. What team goes through a process? This is only a second season for Ange. Which team has ever gone through a process where they haven't had ups and downs, where they haven't had losses? They've just won every single game and everything was rosy from the beginning and there was no learning curves. You need to have these poor performances sometimes to grow and learn as a team. You don't learn nothing from winning all the time. So sometimes it's a good thing to get this out the way early and make sure it doesn't happen again. So now next time when we go 2-0 up, we're going to make sure that that doesn't happen again. And if Ange sees any signs of it, I promise you next time, he'll be hauling people off straight away. He wanted to see how they could handle it, and they didn't handle it. And he will be having strong words with them, I promise you. I believe in Ange. I believe in these players. I believe that, you know, with a couple more signings as well, we could be a very, very good side. One more thing I want to talk about is it's not sustainable to play 90 minutes. Yes, it is, because we've been playing 90 minutes against Newcastle and we was battering them for majority of the game. 90 minutes against Everton. We played 90 minutes against Man United very, very well. We played 90 minutes against Brentford and we played very, very well. So just because we lost a game doesn't mean it's not sustainable to not win, to play this system. It's not sustainable anymore because we lost one game. It's ridiculous. Even Arsenal, we was good for both halves. We just couldn't finish our dinner or create clear-cut chances, and their defending was insane. So we need to really think about, like, are we overreacting this season after one bad half? Yes, it was gutting. Yes, it was terrible. But are we overreacting? Start calling out players straight away, which I think is ridiculous. Start questioning the manager again. We need to just take a step back, breathe, and realise that so far, this Tottenham team are playing very, very good football. Bring in another manager, you could have the boring football back. You might get a 1-0 win here and there, but there's still going to be problems with him too. So anyway, let me know in the comments what you think about this season. Do you still think we can have a good season? Do you think this season now is over? I've had people saying we're going to finish 10th. But I just want to see where your mind's at now. We've had a time to calm down and realize that things ain't so bad. Until next time, come on, you Spurs.